Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, Anjali, you've written notes till here.
Yes, ma'am.
The three new words that we had. Till here
Yes,
we did
ma'am.
menor, thief. We did tithe, menor, and thief. Now we need to do
Yes.
two more new terms. Pope, supreme authority of the church, the highest person in the church, called as Pope. Next, beta. Let's move on to the next one. The friars, a group of monks, sadhu, okay, who move from one place to another place, preach the people and live on charity. They preach the people, लोगों को अच्छी अच्छी बातें सिखाते हैं, and they live on charity, दान पे. जैसे इंडिया में we have sadhu, same monks. They preach people and they only live on charity. They do not do this. They just do prayers and all, and they live on whatever charity they get. So there are two works: Pope and friars. Friars are a group of monks. They move from one place to another. They preach the people and they live on charity. Let's write these two new words very quickly. Anjali, let me know once you're done. Yes, Nehal?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning. I could not revert back to your message. I'll let you know. I'll just take out the list. I'll share the marks with you people. See, Anjali has done till here and Keshav was there yesterday. Today is not there. We have started with the last chapter of the syllabus, the three orders. Just read this quickly, Snehal. I'll go through it once very quickly because we've not done much.
I'm done.
Okay, beta. We have done till here. Okay. So we are going to talk about the early history of France, Anjali, very soon. Anjali will revise from here. Snail, very quickly. We have started with a new chapter, three orders. We are talking about the Western society. Keshav has joined us. He was there yesterday. Western society was divided into the entire society was divided into three groups or three orders. We call them as orders. Yes, Keshav, you remember we had three orders. The clergy. What were the other two?
The nobility and peasantry.
Very good. Which one had a special status, Keshav? Audio is not there. Okay. See, the clergies, that means the priests, they were very special people in the society. They were exempted from taxes. They were not supposed to pay any taxes. And the second order that we had was nobles. They were also very respected in the society. They were given very high posts in church and in administration. And they had to pay very few taxes. They don't have to pay all the taxes. However, they had to pay a few taxes. The third order was the peasantry. That's farmers and laborers. They had to pay all the taxes. Their life was very difficult. So these are the three orders. The name of the chapter is three orders. We're talking about these three orders: clergy, nobility, and peasantry. Now, in these three orders, the third order, peasantry, suffered the most. Because as I told you, they were workers, they were labor, they were farmers, and they had to pay all the taxes also. These peasantry is again divided into two sections: free peasants and serfs. Free peasants were like tenants. They used to deposit a fixed amount to the landlords as a revenue, and then they used to cultivate the land. Serfs were like bonded laborers. They had to work for 12 to 15 hours rather 12 to 16 hours a day. And they were even denied to go to church. They did not even have the right to enter the church and offer prayers over there. So what was the most important feature of the society at this time was feudalism. Feudalism is a German word. It means land. Okay. So what was the main concept over here in feudalism? The king had all the land. The king used to give away the land to the nobles, lords. And then in turn, he used to take military services from these lords. And then these lords either gave it on rent to these free peasants, or they had their serfs working for their land. This is what we call as feudalism. Feudalism is a system where the king used to give away pieces of lands to lords. Okay, we talked about the second category. Let me go back. The second order, nobles and lords. And in turn, he used to take these nobles and lords, they used to maintain their own army, military. So whenever the king needed, he used to take military help from these lords. And in turn, he gave them land. So this was a system which is known as a feudalism system. It was a very common part of that society at that time. Feudalism, it originated in France, and later it spread on to other countries like England, Germany, Spain, Australia, etc. If you talk about the medieval society, the church played a very important role in medieval society. Pope was the head of the church, so whatever Pope said was the final verdict. Everybody used to listen to him, even the king. And at this time, many towns also, they came up like Paris, London. It was this time that these towns became a bigger place. Then we talked about the word monastery. Monastery is derived from a Greek word which means monos. That means live alone. So those people who used to live alone, that is the monks, they used to live in monasteries. So monastery is a Greek word which means monos, and it means someone who lives alone. Then one good thing which happened at this time was that the barter system was removed and money came into circulation. We also talked about, Anjali was there with us, the church, Saint Benedict Monastery. The first monastery to be established was in Italy, Saint Benedict Monastery. It was founded by Saint Benedict. This was the first monastery which was made. Okay, now we are going to start further. We did some terms till here. Anjali, we've done till here. I've done a very quick revision with these children. In the terms, the first term is tithe. It's a kind of a tax which is collected by the church from the farmers. We just said that all the tax was paid by the third order, the peasants. So the peasants had also to pay tax to the church also. And it was 1/10 of the total produce. Supposing it is 100 kg production, then 10 kg part share goes to the church. So this tax was known as tithe tax. It was only taken from the peasants. It was not taken from the first two orders. Obviously, the clergy is taking it, the church is taking it. So they are not paying. Only who was paying is the peasants. This tax was known as which tax, children? Yes, what is this tax called as? Tithe. What is this tax called as?
Tithe.
So this is basically the poor peasants. They had to pay so many taxes, and out of those so many taxes, this was one tax. This is a little different because this money used to not go to the king. It used to go to the church. Manor, let's come about the next word, manor. Manor means a big house or a big mansion. So where these lords used to stay, the second order people, I'm talking about the people of the second order, where they used to stay, the dwelling area, their house. They used to be big mansions, they were known as manors. Third is fief, the land given by the lords to the knights. Knights were the people who fight, soldiers. I already told you the king used to give away the land to the lords. But the land which the lords had, they used to use it in different ways. Either they used to give it on rent, or they had those slaves which we call as serfs working for them, or sometimes they used to give it to the knights, the soldiers also. So that land which was given by the lord to the knights was known as fief. Then we had pope. The highest authority of the church was pope, and the last is friars. They are a group of monks who moved from one place to another, preaching the people and living on charity. Like we have sadhus in India. Okay, these people were monks. They used to move from one place to another. They used to preach people, teach people about religious issues and good things, and then they lived on charity. Whatever they used to get, they used to beg around, and whatever they used to get, they used to live on charity. So they were monks. So monks, I told you just now, they used to live where? What was this word? Monasteries.
Monastery.
So they used to move from one place to another. They had monasteries over there. So are we clear till here the chapter? We are
Yes,
talking about
ma'am.
Western European society. And I've just taken a quick revision because Snehal was also not there. Keshav was there. Anjali was there. Western European society, we are talking about 9th and 16th century. The entire society divided into 3 orders or 3 groups. The name of the chapter is this only, 3 orders. Clergies, nobility, and peasants. They are the most special ones. The first category, no taxes to be paid and all benefits to be taken, most respected. Second ones were very respected. They got high posts and they had to pay very few taxes. The worst condition was of these, the peasants. They had to pay all the taxes and they had to work very, very hard. Then these peasants were again of 2 categories, free peasants and serfs. Free peasants were those, they had to give the fixed deposit as a revenue to the lords. Okay. Like if they take a piece of land from the lords, they used to fix up. I'll pay you 7% or I'll pay you 10% or I'll pay you 15%. Apart from that, they had nothing to do with the lords. But the serfs had the worst condition. They were like slaves. They were to work in the land of the lords for about 12 to 16 hours. They were denied even the opportunity to go to pray in a church. Then we talked about feudalism. Feudalism is a system where the king gives away the land to the lords, and in turn, he takes army services, military services from them. This system is what we call as feudalism. So, in under feudalism, see this point: lords were granted their land in exchange for military services and personal loyalty. This system first started in France, and later, because it was a convenient system for the kings, they don't have to maintain any armies, no expenses. They used to just give away their land, and whenever needed, the army military used to come from the lords. Later, it spread to England, Germany, Spain, etc. Church had a lot of influence. I already told you that the first order was very influential, and in church also the highest position was with Pope only. Then we talked about the word monastery, comes from Greek word monos, someone who lives alone. One good thing which happened was money circulation system started, barter system finished. Then we said the first monastery's name was Saint Benedict Monastery, made by Saint Benedict. And feudalism started declining in the 16th century. Now this system is declining because of certain revolutions. Because obviously when there's going to be so much of suppression, people are going to revolt. So till 16th century, this was continuing. 9th to 16th century, we had this system continuing. But beta, at the end of the 16th century, we are starting from here now, that revolution started. We talked about terms tithe, which was a tax collected by church, 1/10 of the total produce. Huge houses where the lords used to live were manors. The land which was given by the lord to the knights of fiefs. Highest authority of the church was Pope, and the monks who moved from one place to another were known as priors. Okay, now we are going to study about a little history of France. First, we are not going to learn these years as of now. Clovis becomes the king. Okay, first thing we are starting from here, the early history of France. Who has become the king?
Clovis.
Clovis.
What do I mean by Franks?
Ma'am, France.
Yes, beta, Frank. What is this word? What does it mean? France
Ma'am,
is one thing. Yes.
dynasty or a tribe?
Okay, one guess has already come up. Yes, Keshav, Anjali. Yes, what do you mean by Franks? France, we know. What is this Franks? Yes. Nothing? Yes, of course, tribes. It's a tribe. But which kind of a tribe is this, Nehal?
Ma'am, I think it was a German tribe. I'm not sure.
Okay, it's a German. There's a lot of confusion. Some people feel the people of France are Franks, but no. France people, they are not Franks. This was a tribe. They used to speak German language. They had come from the Roman Empire only, basically, and they used to dominate the northern part of the France also. They were very powerful people that time. So Clovis has become the king of the Franks. So when I say Franks, I mean German-speaking people. That tribe used to speak German language. Next, Clovis and the Franks begin in the conquest of northern Gaul. Now both of them are together. Clovis, along with whom? We just read. What was
Ma'am,
that word?
thanks.
Yes, yes. Now both of them together, what are they doing? Conquest of which area?
Northern Gaul.
Yes, beta. This is a Western Europe part. When we say Gaul, we mean which side of Europe?
North.
Yes, Western Europe. Which side is it?
Western
West.
Europe.
Ma'am, West.
If we talk about present, then somewhere around Belgium, Switzerland, Netherlands, all those areas. So Clovis became the king of France. This is a tribe who used to speak German language. Now Clovis and the Franks together, they started the conquest of this area, that is Gaul, Western Europe. Clovis and Franks convert to Christianity. Now, when they conquered this area over here, all the people they used to follow Christianity. So Clovis and Franks, they also converted themselves to convert to what?
Christians.
Yes. Okay. Then they made a huge palace there. They've conquered over there. And who became the mayor of the palace? Who's taking care over there? The head of the palace, Charles?
Charles
Charles
Martel.
Martin.
Yes, Charles Martel. We'll go into details about this, but this is just the timeline. Now, Martel's son was Pepin. What was his name? Pepin.
Pepin.
What are
Pepin.
entire authority, the mayor, the ruling power, this person, he gave it to whom? Martel. Now, when Charles Martel is taking care of the entire palace, so all the officers were under him. So his son, Martel's son, his name was Pepin, he deposes the Frankish ruler. He removed this ruler and he became himself the king. Okay? He became the king and he was a very powerful king, so powerful that he took so many conquests and the size of the kingdom became double under his rule. What was his name? Pepin. What was his name?
Pepin.
Yes.
Pepin.
So we started with Clovis. He became the king of the German tribe. Then together with this tribe, he conquered the northern Gaul area. There he got influenced and he converted to Christianity. All these Franks and Clovis, everybody. Since they're ruling there, they made a palace there. And who was made the mayor to take care of the affairs?
Charles
Martin.
Martel.
Yes, Charles Martel. He was made the mayor. And because all the powers, all the officers, the entire administration came under Charles Martel, his son became ambitious. What was his name?
Pepin.
Yes, Pepin. He removed him and he himself became the king. He was a powerful king, I just told you. Because of his conquests, the kingdom became what in size? Double. Okay?
Double
How
in
much
size.
is this kingdom? Double. Now, after Pepin's death, Dead Sea dynasty is continuing. After Pepin died, his son Charles the Great. Okay, his name was actually Charlemagne, but we call him Charles the Great. He himself gave this title, Charles the Great. So, who is Pepin's son?
Charles the Great.
And Pope, I just told you who was Pope. And we did new terms. Tell me who was Pope. Read this.
The supreme authority of the church.
Yes. So let's come back. That time the Pope was Leo III. Okay, there also dynasty is continuing. Leo I, Leo II, Leo III. At that time, the head of the church was this Pope Leo III. He crowned this person, Charles the Great, as a holy Roman emperor. He said God has made him the emperor, holy emperor. Because church is saying this, so obviously it has to be holy. So who was the Pope who crowned him? What was his name?
Pope Leo III.
Leo III. So if you trace the timeline from, we started from Clovis. From Clovis it went to Martel. From Martel to his son Pepin. From Pepin to his son, what was his name?
Charles the Great.
Yes. And Pope Leo III has crowned him. But it was not easy for Charles the Great to rule. From Norway, they had lot of attacks. Okay, the Vikings were attacking from Norway. Okay, who was attacking? Vikings. We'll study about these people. Who is attacking from Norway?
Vikings.
Yes. As of now, we'll go into details about all this. This is just a timeline that this is the main thing we are going to study. So they started attacking from that side. It is not easy. It was not easy for them. So let's go back timeline in details. See, this is so much. Let's talk about advantages and disadvantages of feudalism first. I'll be taking up this timeline in detail. Advantages of feudalism: established law and order. Because beta, there was a very clear law and order. The king is going to give land to whom? Tell me, the king used to give the land to whom? Lords, right? And what he used to take in turn from these lords?
Military services.
Yes, military services. So obviously, law and order is continuing, administration is working properly, and monarchy is becoming weak. Monarchy, in a sense, that hereditary thing that we have. And there was a lot of contribution in the field of art and literature also. However, we had certain disadvantages also of this system. Disadvantages were since the monarchy became weak. See, so what is happening? The peasants are being exploited. If there is an exploitation, obviously there's going to be struggle. And if there's going to be struggle, it is going to hamper the national unity and integrity. So this is the background of the chapter which I've just shared with you, what we are going to study very quickly. What is the name of the chapter? Before we start the chapter, you should know a little bit about this. So that is why we just took this a little outline. Okay, beta. Before we start reading the entire part of NCERT for this chapter, this is the most important thing that we are going to read in this chapter. Just very quickly go through the first page. Let me ask you a few things. From the book, we'll be starting the chapter. Tomorrow is a holiday. Saturday, we can start it. As of now, the background of the chapter you should know. Okay, we have one more class today. I just saw one more period is there. We can start in that as well. Anjali, your notes were done till where, beta? Till here you've done? Okay, she's not there. Keshav and Snehal, ready?
Yes,
Should we
ma'am.
discuss? Should I ask you a few things? Just remember, we are talking about Western European society and 9th to 16th century. Because I told you after 16th century revolution had started. Okay, should I ask? Let me hide this. We are going to read about this chapter. We have not yet started the chapter. This is just the backbone so that when you read, you understand what is happening. We are going to read a chapter about which society? Indian society, South society, Western society, which society?
Western society.
Which century?
4th to 16th.
Yes, 4 to 16. How many orders were there in the society at that time and name them?
Ma'am, 3. The clergy. The clergy.
I'll help you. Yes. Second order is?
Nobility and then peasantry.
Which order was the most privileged?
clergy.
How?
They did not have to pay taxes.
Yes, beta, and they were most respected also. Which one suffered the most?
The peasantry.
How?
Ma'am, they had to pay heavy taxes and they had to work very hard to meet their needs.
Peasantry, again, we had further two divisions. One were the free peasants, and the others were?
So,
Yes. What is the difference between both of them?
the free peasants had to only pay a fixed land revenue to the lords, while uh, the uh, while the
Yes.
had a lot of restrictions imposed on them that were not imposed on the free peasants. These were denied to go to the church to pray, and they were ill-treated and forced to work for long periods of time,
How many hours a day approximately?
12 to 16 hours a day.
So they suffered the most. It was the serfs who suffered the most. Okay. Tell me, what did you understand? What is feudalism actually?
Feudalism is a German word. It means land, and under feudalism, um, lords were granted their land in exchange of military services. It was it was started in France, and then it spread over to many countries in Europe.
Very good. If you talk about the word monastery, what is its history? What does the word come from and what does it mean?
A monastery. Monastery came from monastery means living came from the word monas, which meant someone who lives alone.
Okay. Tell me something about the monks at that time. What they did, what was their life, how they lived.
Uh, I'm just monks.
I told you they are like Indian sadhus, no? So keep that in mind. They used to move from one place to
Another, and
what they used to do? Preach people. What they used to do?
preach people.
And they just lived on what? They did not do any work, no business, nothing. Then they lived on what? What? How did they get the money?
Ma'am, the offerings that the people used to give them.
Very good, exactly. The charity part. Now let me very quickly revise the terms with you. Tithe is the first term we did. TITHE. It's a kind of a tax. Now tell me, what do you know about this tax?
Ma'am, it was the tax that was collected by the church from the peasants in France. It was 1/10 of the total produce that the peasants had.
So you think the second order people also had to pay this tax?
No, ma'am.
No, they were not paying for
No,
it. Very good. So this is tithes, he had. Okay. So this is one term we did. What is menor?
ma'am, it is the area where the land landlord resided. Landlord.
You're doing terms. I've already asked you to. You already told me. What is fief?
Ma'am, it was the land that was given by the lord to the knight.
Very good. So fief was the land which was given by the lords to the knights. If we know these terms, it will be easier for us. And who was Pope?
The supreme authority of the church.
Yes. And friars?
A group of monks who moved from one place to another, preaching people and living on the charity that was given to the people to them.
So from here to here, I'll give you 2-3 minutes. Start from Clovis and then reach till raids from Norway. This is going to be the entire timeline of the chapter which we are going to read, which we are going to start. Just see the timeline, what happened first, then we'll go to details later.
Ma'am, done.
Okay, should I hide it? You did not mention the year, beta. You simply tell me about the events one after the other. Okay, start.
First, Clovis became the king of Franks. Franks were a German group of people, and then Clovis and the Franks began a conquest of northern Gaul. Then Clovis and the Franks, after capturing Gaul, converted themselves to Christianity and gave most of the power to Charles Martel, who became the mayor of the palace.
Very good. What happened then
Martel,
after?
yes, ma'am. Martel's son Pepin, he finishes the Frankish ruler and became the king and established a dynasty. He had many wars of conquest, which doubled his kingdom. Uh, Pep,
Very
Pepin was
good.
Pepin was succeeded by his son Charles the Great. Ma'am, then Pope Leo the second
Leo
crowned
the
no
third.
third. Pope Leo the third crowned Charles the Great as Holy Roman Emperor, and then uh, Vikings raided Norway.
You think Pepin was a great king, a good ruler, great ruler? Is there any mentioned here? But yes, he was a great ruler, strong ruler.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you feel so? What makes you feel so?
Ma'am, because of all the wars that he had, he doubled the size of his kingdom.
Whatever he got from his father, from the king. His father was not a king. No, we just did that. He was just the mayor. But whatever he got, he doubled the empire. So this certainly shows that he was a very powerful emperor. No doubt. This is proved over here. So we are talking about the history. There was one more word you just told me about Franks. What was that word? Which tribe?
German tribes.
Yes, beta. They used to speak which language?
German.
The only good thing which happened during this period was we talked about one system being removed and the other system coming up. Which one was it?
Ma'am, feudalism declined.
Feudalism declined, and we also talked about money part. What came into circulation?
Yes, ma'am.
Money, beta. Money came into circulation. Before money, what did we have earlier? Which system was there?
The system.
Barter system. Which system was there?
Barter system.
Yes. Name the first monastery which was built.
Saint Benedict Monastery.
Very good. Who made it? Who founded it?
Saint Benedict.
Yes, Saint Benedict. So that time we had a lot of trends about monks who used to move from one place to another, and they used to live in isolation in these so-called, what we call as monasteries. Feudalism has declining. We just said revolutions have already started because of these. Clovis, we just need to remember Clovis. Then Charles Martel, then Pepin, and then Charles the Great. His name was Charlemagne. His real name was Charlemagne. He himself crowned himself as Charles the Great. And Pope, what did Pope call him as? Which emperor?
Holy Roman Emperor.
So basically, when the Pope has declared him an emperor, so he automatically becomes the Holy Roman Emperor. And then after this, we'll read in the chapter. Till here we have done. The trades have already started. So we have reached till 11th century. We are going to start from 11th to 14th century. What all is going to happen? And then we are going to go till the 16th century. Because when we said we started with the chapter, we said we are going to read about the society 9th to 5th century,
16th.
16th century. So we have come up to here. All this is continuing. And feudalism is going to decline somewhere in the 16th century, although the efforts have started here. If you see from the 11th century, we will see efforts have already started, but this system ended somewhere at the end, somewhere in the 16th century. We also talked about advantages of feudalism. After all, it was a set pattern. So and here we talk about the disadvantages. Monarchy is becoming weak because they depended on military from whom? The lords. So obviously the king has become weak, if you see, because he is depending for his military, the power of a king on the lords. So monarchy has become weak. If the monarchy is weak, obviously the peasants are being exploited by the lords. King is depending on the lord. So lord is certainly going to exploit. And if there's going to be exploitation, there are going to be struggles. And if there's going to be struggle, it's going to hamper the unity. Okay, Samuel, let's do it later. The chapter, this is all about the backbone of the chapter. Okay, Richa, we'll meet in the next session. Okay, bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
God bless, Peter.